For context, I am type 1 diabetic and live in a rural part of the UK, about a 30-minute drive from my girlfriend. The TIFU in question happened last week after I decided to visit my GF after a long shift as essential worker. I sat down to chill and watch TV whilst she gathered snacks and I injected myself with enough insulin for some chips and a can of Coke. For those that are unfamiliar, type 1 diabetics have to administer insulin when they eat carbohydrates, i.e., there's a ton of carbs in a regular Coke. Here's the TIFU. My extra thoughtful and loving GF had bought me my own batch of Diet Cokes, no sugar, and poured one into a glass for me without explaining, so I didn't realize. Unbeknownst to me, I had just done what diabetics like to call massive overbolus, which means giving yourself way too much insulin and making your blood sugar drop dangerously. I happily ate these snacks with her and we chilled together for a few hours watching Tiger King and Cuddled before I said that I really needed to drive back to my apartment to sleep before my next shift. It was already getting a bit dark. At some point during the drive home, I blacked out at the wheel. The car went off the road and hit a flooded marsh. The police later told us that someone had called them after seeing the partially submerged car, but when they went to investigate, they couldn't find a driver and assumed my dead body was somewhere in the muddy water. What I'd actually done was get out of the car, confused from low blood sugar and freaked out that it was going to explode, and tried to walk back to my girlfriend's house. The trouble is, it might be a 30-minute drive, but by foot the journey is like 2 hours because it's just marshland for miles. By some miracle I still had some loose change, so I was able to stop at a vending machine gas station at what must have been midnight and buy some snacks to recover the low blood sugar. I started to feel normal again, and I remember thinking I didn't really have a choice, so I had to walk the rest of the way back to GF's house, which was awful because it was super dark and I was covered in gunk/mud. When I finally got there, there were several police cars parked in the street. She opened the door and started screaming and crying, absolutely terrified. She said that the police had told her the car crash was fatal and that they needed to recover my body. Her parents had come round to help her through it and looked like they'd seen a ghost when I came in. TL Dr. TIFU by giving myself insulin for a regular Coke which I didn't need and blacking out at the wheel, making my girlfriend think I died.